Hi, thank you for joining me. Today, I want to talk to you about how to dedicate a space or an object for metaphysical use. Now, they're done primarily the same way. You first want to cleanse and clear the object or the space of energies that are not helpful to you or that are not needed by you at this time. And then you want to infuse or allow your energy and energy of divine source to permeate the space and make the space a sacred place. And the same holds for the object. It's always the same thing. You cleanse it and clear it, and that way it's now ready to receive your energies or more energies from divine source that are applicable for that time and that space and the work that you're about to do. So I'll show you how to do the object first, and then we'll move on to how to do a space. So check out the other video on why you want to do this. And of course, that will be very helpful for you. So now just say, for instance, this is just an ordinary spoon. It's a kind of fancy. So of course it caught my eye. I didn't want to use a regular spoon. I thought the handle was kind of cute, and I thought this part was really nice. So I use it for my incense when I'm scooping my incense out. I thought it was nice, and so that's what I use it for. So that's just an ordinary spoon. And then I picked this up. This was right around Christmas time. The store had these weird looking things, and it's supposed to be a glass pen. So of course I haven't really taken it apart to see, but it's a glass pen that came with some ink. Now I'll use this ink for practice purposes, but until then I'll dedicate the both of them, and then I may actually place some ink in here. The inks I normally use with my metaphysical working, dove's blood, dragon's blood, and bat's blood ink. And then you may use a combination, I guess, of something else. I'm not too sure. But whatever it is you use, whatever it is you may mix up. I love mixing up the stuff that I use because it allows me to impart more of my own energy and divine energy with a purpose. Most of these things are manufactured for the purpose of making money and not specifically for metaphysical use. So that's one reason why I do dedicate things. So all right, so to dedicate these objects, I'm going to hold them in both hands using yin and yang energy. I'm going to touch each part of it, and there it is. That thing is on there. And I really want to touch every part of it. So I'll hold this piece, which is the cover to protect the tip. I'll hold it also in my hand as part of it, but I want to be sure to touch every single part of each of these objects, okay? And I'm going to cleanse. And at this point in time, you can ask other entities, ethereal entities to come forth, whether it be ascended masters, ancestors, the Godhead, fairies, angels, whatever beings that you are comfortable with using or working with, ask them to step forward if you decide that's what you want to do and help you cleanse and clear energies away that are not needed for your use at this time, that are not needed for the purposes that I intend to use. These four, make it personal. I'm saying you, so I'll switch and say me and I so that you'll run those things in your head. That's how you want to personalize everything. This is your work that you're doing, whether you're doing it for yourself or someone else. These are the things you want to personalize it with your energy and divine energy. If you are getting distracted rather by outside visual context and sounds and noises, close your eyes. You can do that. That way it helps you focus. You want to remain focused through the whole process, feeling and touching each object so that you can feel that the energies have been cleared away, that are not needed at this time. You don't know what type of day the person that made these was having. However, you do know that the energies interacted with these objects before coming to you. And so you're going to cleanse and clear them of any adverse energies, any energies that are no longer needed at this time for the purposes that I intend to use these objects for. Thank you. That's it. They're cleansed. You can kind of feel sometimes when there's a little hiccup of energy on an object. It doesn't feel quite right. So just keep touching it and allowing the time to pass for the cleansing to take place. Sometimes it doesn't take but an instant, and sometimes it may take a little longer. So now I'm going to impart energies. And so now I ask divine source and other entities that step forward at this time to assist me. I impart energies into these objects so that they will be most helpful when I use them for metaphysical works. Whether I use them for myself or for someone else, the energies are being imparted now to assist in all manner of metaphysical works. Thank you. Now that's it for the object. Now these objects are quite special. Keep them in a special place apart from other things so that no one coming or coming in or out of the room will just grab it and use it. For instance, when I told you I use this spoon for incense work, I keep these objects in a box that is set aside. So no one entering the room, if they happen to see it sitting there, will say, oh, I needed that spoon, and they pick it up and they grab it. Or they say, oh, spoon was left out. It needs to be washed. Let me take it to the kitchen area so it can be washed. That's not going to happen with this. I keep it in a special place. So that's what you want to do. Now that is for an object. Now, when you're going to work with a room or a space within a room, space on the patio, or space in the yard area, I will love when you pick a space out in the yard area. With that, I generally use a compass to decide what area, what cardinal direction I want to work in. I'll do that. So for this, I'm going to turn the camera so that you'll be able to see better the directions. Give me just a second. All right, say this is the area. The area is shaped similar to this. This is a large area. If it's a small area, you would do the same thing if the room provides all right, so here's an area. Say the area is shaped like this, and I'm not too sure how large the area, if it's an entire backyard or just a yard, portion of the backyard. So it doesn't matter how large the space is, or if it's a room within a building or a home. Now remember, you can also dedicate an entire building. So this is what you want to do. You want to stand in the very middle of the space. Extend both hands outward. Your arms also. Extend them all the way out to your side. Stand in the middle of the space. It doesn't matter which direction. It's up to you which direction. To me, it doesn't matter. And what you're going to do, instead of going over here and going over there, maybe here or there, or over this way or over that way, you're going to go in a systematic fashion, because you are trying to get rid of the energies that are not to be used at this time, or energies that are no longer needed at this time, you're going to go in a counterclockwise direction if you are north of the equator. If you are south of the equator, then you'll go you would go clockwise. So I am north of the equator, and therefore I'm going to go counterclockwise. I will start here in this corner. So remember, I started here, I started here, I extended my hands outward. And that is when you want to now state your intentions. I now intend and also invite in. So now is the time for you to invite in helpers and to state your intention. So if you want to invite helpers in, you say, I now ask the divine Godhead to step forward and assist me in cleansing and preparing this space. I also ask for guardian angels or angels that would step forward, fairies, ascended masters. I ask that the ancestors also step forward in this space to assist in cleansing and preparing it. Thank you. Your arms are extended out. You allow your energy to rise, and now start walking. Pick a direction. It doesn't matter which area you want to start in. Just note the area that you start in, because you have to end in that area. So I'm going to start here. So I go here, and I keep my arms extended, and I walk around the space, repeating or just sensing the energy and allowing the energy to permeate. Take your time and move around the space. Just move around the space, feeling and sensing the energies. And I'm ending here. That's where I started. Thank you. Now I walk to the center of the space. And if this is not the exact center of the space, it is okay. It's my perceived center of the space. I don't need to measure it. So now I ask that all whom step forward would continue to assist me in preparing this space. I'm now going to go in a clockwise position because I'm above the equator, north of the equator. If you're below, then you go counterclockwise. So now I'm going to walk this way with those that step forward to assist me. And I'm now going to go clockwise, walking through, placing energy throughout every area of this room or this space. If you have what is called a prayer language, you can use it now. If you have other words, you can use them now. Sometimes in doing work like this, a tune will come forth, and hum it. If a tune of music comes forth, hum it. Allow it to permeate the space. You're walking around the space. The energy is moving throughout the space, And this is where I started, and then I'll come back into the center. I stand in the center, and then I'll just turn, make a complete turn around and back to where I started with my arms and my hands extended. And then I thank you all that step forward to assist me in preparing this space for metaphysical works. And that's it. Nothing else is needed. The space has been thoroughly cleansed and cleared of energies that are not needed at this time. And the space has been infused with energy from you and from divine beings and ethereal beings. It is now ready for metaphysical works. That's all that's needed. You're done. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. Just be confident when you're doing it, and it will be correct. There's no right or wrong way, except that you cleanse and clear away the energies first, then infuse the energies. That is the order in which you would do it. You wouldn't infuse it with your energies, then cleanse and clear them away. So that's the only order. The order of that is makes it correct. If you extend your arms or not, it doesn't matter. If you don't feel to extend your arms, you don't have to. I just generally extend my arms when I'm in the middle and when I'm walking, because I can feel the energy stirring and moving as I'm going. If you feel that you want to move your arms in some type of way, you can do that too. So it depends on what I'm doing. I may just keep my arms straight out, or I may just start moving energy, because as your hands move and your arms are moving, you're moving energy also. And so you can do that. So if you're being led to do that, don't feel because I didn't say it's okay to do it that it's not okay, because it is. When the ethereal beings step forward with you, they're working with you. And so they may be talking to you or edging you to do something, and depends on how you hear or sense their energies, that's what you would do. One thing I want to also mention is, with a dedication of a space or an object, you can have also a permanent space, or you can have a temporary space. A temporary space is quite useful if you are traveling and you are not going to be in a location long. So let's cover a temporary and a permanent space or object. Say you're traveling or you're visiting someplace and you need to do some type of metaphysical work. You're not going to be there permanently. So you want to set up a temporary space. You can dedicate that space temporarily to do whatever work it is that you need to do. The same goes for an object. So I'm going to show you what I mean by an object. Now, you would do the same thing that you would do for any other space or any other object when doing the dedication of the space or the object. So what I have before me right now is a table that I use for a lot of stuff. Just say I need to use this table. I'm in a pinch or in a bind. This table I use often outside, or I use it inside. I do a lot of creative work on this table. As you will see, it has a lot of paint on it. So I want to use this particular table. It's weatherproof, and I'm going to use it. And I need to use it for some metaphysical work. I'm not going to use it all the time for metaphysical work, but I just need it at this point in time. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it. You'll have to set it up also. And let me show you. All right, so this, as you can see, there's a lot of paint on this table. It's a good size, not quite a foot, 3 feet. It's about 2 feet wide or long, and a little over a foot in another direction. So it has all these markings on it, but no one uses this table but myself. And I need to use it. I need to do something maybe quick. And I have my other tables are occupied with something else. And so I grabbed this table. I'm not just going to grab it and put my stuff on this table. I am going to do a quick dedication. It's just temporary, and I know it's temporary. And so I'm going to set a barrier on this table. And this is just a simple trash can liner. You can use a black, you can use a white, it doesn't matter. But I placed that there. And now I have some fabric that I use often when I'm doing metaphysical work. I'll place this on here. Once I place this on here, Now I'm going to dedicate the space. Now I can do it this way, or I can open this all the way up and let it completely cover the table from one end to the other. So now it's completely covering the table. I have such a hard time with this new camera. All right, so now the table's completely covered. I place my hands on the table and I cleanse the table for use. Cleanse away any energies that are not needed for this particular metaphysical work for this session that I'm going to use. This is a temporary work station, but I need it dedicated and I need the energies cleansed and cleared away that are not here to assist me in this metaphysical work. That's it. Now, of course, if you needed to, if you like inviting others in to assist you, then you would do that beforehand, like you would any other object. Now, I'm going to infuse this with energy to allow the metaphysical work to be prosperous, to go off without a hitch. And I'm just touching it, infusing it with energy. And I only need to touch the tabletop, the surface, and not the legs. Then I say thank you. That's for all that stepped forward to assist me. That's it. And now I can use this for whatever metaphysical work that I want to use it for. And that's it. Okay, thanks for joining me. Until next time.